You're listening to Systemic Error Podcast. The failure was designed.
Inside the hidden legal battle over Mitch McConnell's Senate seat, based on an article by McKenna Horsley, Kentucky Lantern. The McConnell spectacle is not about Beshear. It's about who controls the seat. The real power is elsewhere. The source story is built around a false assignment of responsibility. Mitch McConnell's absence has become a public guessing game, and Andy Beshear is the person being told to do something. But the governor does not control a U.S. Senate seat simply because the occupant is missing from view. Until there is a resignation or a death, the seat is not vacant, and the authority that matters here sits with McConnell, his staff, and the Republican institutions that have already shaped the rules around any vacancy. That is the basic fact the online pylon keeps obscuring. Beshear is being asked to solve a problem he does not have the power to solve. Theater is being mistaken for leverage. The pressure campaign is less a political strategy than a public performance. Threads posts, X chatter, Bluesky speculation, and podcast commentary have turned McConnell's health into a civic circus and Beshear into the audience's designated actor. That is not accountability. It is a demand for visible motion, whether or not the motion can change anything. This is how political misdirection works now. People are encouraged to mistake dramatic posture for institutional force. Do something sounds assertive, but in this case it mostly means produce a scene. Beshear's dilemma is not how to seize power. It is how to refuse a demand designed to make him look either weak or reckless. Republicans built the trap. The source notes that Kentucky's GOP-controlled General Assembly changed the law in 2024 so that any vacant Senate seat would go to a special election rather than a gubernatorial appointment. That is not a neutral procedural detail. It is a deliberate power move by Republicans to make sure a Democratic governor could not simply name a replacement for a Republican senator. So when people online fantasize about Beshear declaring the seat vacant or appointing a successor, they are describing a legal and political fantasy already blocked by Republican legislation. The trap was built in advance. The same party that benefits from the seat's current occupant also wrote rules to protect its claim on the seat if the vacancy ever opens. McConnell's silence is the story. The article treats the public speculation around McConnell's condition as a side issue, but it is actually central. McConnell's office has offered a statement and photo, not a real accounting of his ability to serve. That leaves the public with rumor, agency gossip, and stray claims that unnamed agencies suggested he had died. None of that substitutes for transparency. The problem is not that people are curious. The problem is that an aging, immensely powerful senator can disappear from regular scrutiny while his party still benefits from the office he holds. When a man with that much institutional weight can remain politically present and physically opaque at the same time, the system is working exactly as designed for him and for the people around him. Beshear is being auditioned for a different race. The most revealing part of the source is not Kentucky politics. It is the national Democratic anxiety layered on top of it. Beshear is being judged not on what he can legally do, but on whether he looks tough enough for a possible 2028 presidential run. That is a media habit with damage attached. It converts a state-specific constitutional problem into a personality test for a future national candidate. This also distorts Democratic strategy. Beshear's cautious posture is framed as weakness by people who want a warrior pose, while his opponents on the right still control the chamber, the state legislature, and the rules of succession. The demand is not for power. It is for aesthetics. The pattern is familiar. This story is a neat example of how American politics launders responsibility. The party with actual institutional control writes the rules, keeps the seat, and benefits from opacity. Then the weaker actor is told to perform outrage, improvise legality, or somehow rescue the public from the consequences of someone else's power. That is the deeper pattern: procedural hardball by Republicans, spectacle pressure from online politics, and a media frame that invites everyone to stare at the nearest Democrat. The seat belongs to a Republican senator, protected by Republican law, inside a Republican chamber. If that arrangement is broken, it will not be because people begged Andy Beshear loudly enough on social media. You've been listening to Systemic Error. Thanks to AlterNet for today's article. With the automated voice of Lesak, thanks for listening.